I'm the only one who knows your heart. Yo, what? We have lost control, man. We Guardo. We've lost control. Lost it, man. Hey, well, it's Saturday. It's January something, the 8th, and this is the review of my question of the week that I put out. This is by far probably one of the best questions of the week that's I've ever had, and we're going to review it, and then we're going to go into the new question of the week, which is, should we even bother with belts? Should we just ban them, get them out of the way? Not ban them, but just get rid of them because they mean nothing. Anyway, going back to the original question of the week is Bob Arum ruining Manny Pacquiao's career? And going over that, it was most of it was like, you're not going to ruin his career because he's already established. He's 8-time champ. He's fought all the guys in the beginning with the Morales and the Barreras and all those guys coming up, so now he can take his time off. And there are others, like Fuji Man's 12 was, I don't think Arum tarnished Pacquiao's careers. People who aren't boxing fans or hardcore boxing fans don't see that he fought people who weren't in their prime or not even that good to begin with. So in the eyes of the general public, Arum is helping Pacquiao's career, but in the eyes of hardcore boxing fans, he sees it as Arum is ruining it. The next one was from Daji Singh, and Arum's milking Manny for as many fights as possible. He knows that after the Mayweather fight, Manny would most likely retire, but at the moment he's trying to get Manny to fight as many people as possible so he can make his own pockets bigger. He totally agrees with what we were talking about, the Mayweather fight being off the books, and Manny's fighting past their prime fighters only because these fighters are well known to the casual watcher, and other than a young gunner like Andre Berto, who Manny should be fighting. V10 Dave says, what the f does Pacquiao have to do? He already said he'll fight anybody, anytime. He'll destroy Mosley. Don't get me wrong, I have massive respect for Sugar Shane. But he's finished, and Bob Arum has already said Mosley is past his best. He said that before Mayweather beat up Mosley. And Berto, you've got to be kidding me. He's not in the same league as Pacquiao, so who do we have next? And JDZ said, depending all on Arum is just insulting. What dirt does Arum have on Pacquiao that keeps him from making any decisions of his own? This guy is supposed to be a congressman, but can't make his own decisions. And JDZ4, that's an excellent question, an excellent comment, and I appreciate that. So you have to think about that too. So we can't just hold Arum at fault for this, because ultimately it's Pacquiao's signature that has to go on that contract in order to fight. Roach, same way. It's Pacquiao's signature at the end of the day that goes on those contracts that decides whether or not he's the actual fighter. So, it's good that we have enough educated boxing fans out there that realize it's not just Arum that's behind this to keep him away, and enough even with Pacquiao fans to realize, it's Pacquiao, it's on Pacquiao a little bit too. Not that he's killing his career, but he's definitely not perpetuating it or making it go further to reach that legend status. There were a lot of fighters that were big at one time. Prince Naseem Ahmed would be one of them, but he's not looked upon as a legend in legend status, to go from. Okay, so that was great. Now, this brings me to the new question of the week. When I say that, Dell's 323, is that right? Yeah, Dell's 323 brought up a great question in all of that in one of my other videos. That was the prediction fight between Devon Alexander and Timothy Bradley, and if you haven't seen that one, check that one out. Cheap plug. But he brought up a great thing, and he said, Timothy Bradley won't be fighting for the WC belt. Alexander's not bringing the IBF belt with him. So ultimately, they're really looking at one belt, and that's the WBO. And he brings up the point. He goes, why even bother with belts anymore if they mean nothing? because you had Timothy Bradley, who refused to fight the #1 challenger at the time, which just happened to be Devon Alexander, and he was stripped of the WBC title. And he refuses to pay sanctioning fees on the WBC title, so he won't win that even if he does win the fight against Alexander. Now, when he won the WBO title, this is confusing, I know, but I'm trying to explain it. Let me do it. When he won the WBO title, and I believe that was off of Junior Witter, when he won all those titles, they made him make a choice. Or it could have been before Witter. I don't want to mess it up. But anyway, they made him, WBC made him choose between holding the WBC title or the WBO. So the titles don't even want you, well, you can hold our title, but you can't hold this one. So they're kind of robbing themselves of having someone unify the titles and make even bigger fights for them. So they're cutting their own throats. Yeah, there's a bunch of titles out there, but now in the eyes and in the public, these guys, most of them are fighting for titles that they won not off a fighter, but because they were vacated. And in Bradley's or Alexander's side, he was stripped of the IBF title because he refused to fight the IBF's #1 fighter, and that was Kaiser Mambuza, who is the 6th ranked light welterweight in the division anyway, so that would have been a good fight. But he skipped that in order to fight Bradley. You feeling me? So they're fighting now to see who's going to be the #1 A or B, because I have Khan, #1, 1A or 1B, whoever. You see what you? So we're sitting here, and these guys are willing to just say, whatever. Yeah, I got the title, whatever, take it. I don't need it. So what are they fighting for? If they're not fighting for titles, are they just fighting for money? And if so, then Pacquiao is definitely in the right. Or do the titles need to clean themselves up and maybe get on the same page and say, hey, I rank this guy, you rank that guy, let's have them go at it. Who wins, wins. They have the titles, and then they can go to unify the division. So we have those great days like what Tyson gave us, what Ricky Hatton when he was trying to unify, what a lot of the other fighters are doing, and what Khan is trying to do. Trying to unite all the titles. That way we can have just one. Or are you happy with the way things are going right now? And, you don't care about titles either. You, in your mind, kind of like the way Ring ranks fighters, might not necessarily be the guy that holds the majority of the titles, that is the actual recognized champion of the division. Much like how Ricky Hatton was always seen as the champion, even though he didn't really have any of the belts in the 140 at the end there when Bradley was holding them and others. You see what I'm saying? So, let me know what you think about this. Do you think that the belts, we should basically just do away with them and kind of go to just an overall ranking system? Because these fighters are having to pay sanctioning fees for these belts, but at the same time, well, what does that matter? What really matters? Does it matter what the belts or the sanctioning bodies think you're ranked? What people's perception, where they feel you're ranked? Okay, maybe that'll be another question to delve in on. Okay, so should we even bother with the belts anymore? Yay, nay, don't care. You just want to see the best fighting the best. That's why you're cool with Alexander fighting Bradley. Those kind of things. Khan fighting Maidana. Those. Alright? Well, hey, this is Bigragu. Please feel free to comment, rate, subscribe. Yeah, that'd be nice. It'd be nice. Alright, well, hey, Bigragu, I'm out.